Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from Fox News, a place I don't go to very often, but I saw this and I just had to say something. The article's from February 8th and it says View host Sunny Hostin stunned to learn her ancestor was a slaveholder. That's disappointing, she says. She appeared on Tuesday's episode of Finding Your Roots, on Tuesday the 6th of February. And just right off the bat, before we get into this, I mean, you've seen it on Finding Your Roots a few times with someone that's African American finds out that they have like white people in their history, or like Angela Davis. If you don't know who she is, go look her up. She's not a good person. She's a commie, first of all, which helps there. But she found out that she's descendants of like the original people that came over on the Mayflower. Okay. So she found that out and that stunned her. And then LeVar Burton, not that long ago, who has made some very anti-white statements himself, found out that one of his ancestors was a Confederate soldier. Okay, a white guy, obviously. And I have Sonny Hostin learning this as well. And I kind of find it to be karma that the people who seem to be the most racist, at least on the left, are finding out that like their blood is white to some degree. And you know what? This is why I think racism is just stupid. Everybody's kind of everything, especially in America. I mean, like you just don't know unless you get, one of the DNA tests or whatever, like, or find out stuff like this. When they trace your history, because I don't think the show, I've never watched the show, but I don't think they do an actual DNA test. I could be totally wrong about that, and by all means, correct me if I am. Um, but I just find racism to be dumb and stupid because again, you don't know where like your history. And if somebody was to come to me and trace my history and they're like, you have this and this and this, that's not like white Jew, which is what I am, I'd be like, as someone who likes history, I'd be like, that's fine. It's interesting to me. Like it wouldn't bother me in the slightest. I don't care. But this is why it's dumb. Our blood is all made up of everything. Well, in all likelihood, unless you're Irish. That's funny. But anyway, enough of me blabbering. Let's get into this because I find this funny that, at least for Sonny Hostin, who I think I've called before the most racist human being on television, is finding out that, yeah, you're not as pure as you think you are. Okay. So it says the View host Sunny Hostin was shocked to discover her family's hidden history in a new episode of the PBS documentary show Finding Your Roots. The documentary show researches prominent figures' family histories through historical records and DNA testing. Okay, so they do a DNA testing. I was wrong at the beginning. All right. I kind of figured they did, but I just wasn't sure. So on Tuesday's episode, show host Henry, I can talk, Lewis Gates Jr. revealed one of Hostin's ancestors on her maternal side was likely involved in the slave trade in colonial Spain. So she doesn't get the whole you just have a white person in their history like Angela Davis, or one of your grandparents was a Confederate soldier like LeVar Burton. She gets the whole, oh no, your ancestors were actually involved in the slave trade. And keep in mind that Sonny Hostin is a huge proponent of reparations. So, Sonny, how are you going to reconcile the fact that you want reparations, but your ancestors were part of the slave trade? Someone tell me how she's going to square that circle. So it does say here that her third great grandfather also owned at least one human being, he said. So Tustin, whose mother is Puerto Rican and father is black, confessed the revelation left her in shock. I mean, yeah, if I was to hear that too, I'm sure there'd probably be a little bit of shock, but at the same time, it's like, well, what the hell am I going to do about it? That was hundreds of years ago. There's literally nothing I can do. But it's just like, I mean, and everybody's probably got somebody like this in their history somewhere. Okay. So again, like you can't change the past, just move on. So she said, wow, I'm in a little bit of shock. I just always thought of myself as half Puerto Rican. I didn't think my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders. So she says, well, for mom's one thing and her dad's another thing, but you don't know where they're from. So you don't really know if you're half and half. Okay. And obviously they didn't either, or they were hiding it. Austin shared that her husband Manny's family is also from Spain, so they have that in common. 'Cause I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots, so I do appreciate that, and I think that's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living on the backs of others, she continued. Hassan's family tree and own DNA, excuse me, not cutting that out, revealed even deeper ties to Spain, which further surprised her. She said, I had no idea the Spanish roots to this extent. I'm still sort of shocked at the depth of the ties. And it says Gates teased Austin that her white side of her family had to have come from somewhere before jokingly asking her what she had against Spain. It says just the colonization of other people, something that literally every place on earth, every civilization has done. Okay, so that's not a reason to hate another group of people, because if you hate one, you're going to hate the others. And don't try to say, oh, well, what about these people? I guarantee you those people that you're thinking of did the same exact thing. Okay, so this is someone who's so far down the progressive rabbit hole that this is a talking point. Like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And if you watch the video, you'll understand very quickly that she is not a very smart person. She plays a lawyer on TV, but just because you're a lawyer does not mean you're intelligent, and she is the personification of them. So it says Hudson responded with a chuckle before growing more somber. It says, I'm surprised they were enslavers, actually. That's disappointing. It says Hostin went on to say that her mother certainly identifies as Puerto Rican and non-white, actually. So I hate this for her, she said with a laugh. And then there's a link that says former Black Panther Angela Davis shocked to learn she is a descendant of the Mayflower. Yeah, go ahead and read that one too. Just kind of funny how all these people are kind of getting kind of the like a gut punch over this. Like, be racist and oh wait, you're actually related to people who were not necessarily on the right side of history, as they like to say. So earlier on the show, Austin explained how her mother was very politically active and often took her to protests as a child, which shaped Austin's concerns about social justice, which isn't a thing. It's either justice or not. As the View host received happier news later in the show, Gates presented her with her third great grandfather's Georgia voter registration card from 1867. See, that's actually pretty cool. So, as the show host said, Austin's ancestors likely born into slavery in 1835. She said, wow, that's cool. Admitting the news touched her. Says, wiping back tears, she remarked happily, that's amazing. In 1867, registered to vote. That's amazing. And Sonny, which political party was it that helped that happen? Just gonna leave that one there. And that is the end of the article. But anyway, again, like I said, I just wanted to mention this because I just find it really funny that some of the most racist people you can imagine, who always seem to be progressives, find out that their history isn't as, for lack of a better term, pure as they imagined that it was. And it turns out that they're made up of, you know, all the stuff that they just hate. So I just find this kind of funny. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.